So a while back, I bought another XJ, and I kind of did like I guess the 1 week resurrection. Um, the guy he had it for a while. He bought it from another guy, and it was on a farm its whole life. He couldn't get it to run. This, that, and the third. I got it for pretty cheap, but for what it is, all right. So yeah, it's a two-door, 5 speed, 4x4, 97. So it's a hard to come by piece. This video here, what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you the process of what I did to it and all that stuff, just to make it so where it wasn't super derelict and you could drive it anywhere. It's not that difficult. It takes a little bit of money, but like if you're thrifty with it, you can make something happen for dirt cheap. It's not that difficult. With this one here, I mean, we had to put new fenders on it, new hood, and all that stuff. You'll see. It's a pretty cool deal, though. I did all this work within 7 days, and on day 7, I drove it to Nashville, Tennessee, because I'm like, well, if it can't survive a 700-mile road trip, it probably shouldn't be on the road to begin with. And mind you, that's roughly 700 miles one way from here, right? That can't be right. No. Maybe like 450. Either way. So after I did the Nashville trip, made it home, no problems. I took it up to the wonderful state of Western New York, where I'm originally from. And then from there, I went to Indiana with it and dropped it off to its new owner. And no problems. Like the thing ran great and drove great, like 78 mile an hour down the highway, no problems. It almost got 22 miles a gallon. I'm not even mad about that. I was going to keep it, but at the same time, I'm like, I really don't like two-door XJs. I just don't like them. I bought that one. That was the first two-door I had. I had it for that month, and I was like, I am done with this. I do not like two-doors. So, new happy owner with a nice, reliable, rust-free XJ. So let's go forward here, and we'll show you the process that we took to accomplish this. Enjoy it. As you can see, we're up on jack stands now. It may appear that it's got like a lot of rake in it, but the garage floor is sloped, so it gives it that illusion. But it's pretty level actually. So now we're gonna dig into. We're gonna change the radiator out. We're gonna change spark plugs, and just kind of give it a once over on the front suspension. Make sure all the tie rods are good, ball joints, controller and bushings, all the steering components, all that stuff. So that way, when I actually go to drive it, I should either expect death wobble or I should be good. So we'll see. So this is promising. Draining the coolant out of this thing. There's no coolant in it, and it's whatever's in it is just straight up water. Doesn't have any leaks, so that's a good thing. So we're gonna put a new radiator in it, and hopefully it's gonna be all right. Put a mix of 50-50 in it, but there ain't nothing coming out of this radiator. Just nothing. So as it turns out, the condensers are different in these things from generations, I guess. I just went to the junkyard and pulled the condenser and radiator. But the radiator is going to work. The condenser's not, so we're going to just throw a radiator in it and not the condenser for now. Hopefully the AC will charge up. The condenser doesn't look that bad, but the radiator had a big crack in the top of it and all that stuff. So we had a misfire. These plugs are pretty fouled out. So we're going to throw a new set in there. Maybe it fixes it. Alright, it's alive. It's holding water. Feels like it's hitting on all 6 cylinders. Got the radiator support back in it, radiators in it, spark plugs. Put a battery terminal on it. Right now I'm just kind of burping the coolant. Trying to get all the air out of the system. And then heat's already starting to get warm, so we're gonna let this thing ride right now. So a little known fact about these things, I mean, you can always Google search your rear end cover to see what it is. This one's an 8 1/4, but if you can't get underneath it and you want to know, pop the hood and see if there's an ABS pump. If there's an ABS pump, that means that you have a Dana 35 axle. For whatever reason, when Jeep designed these things, all the ABS ones got Dana 35s. I'm guessing because the ZJ's got the Dana 35 and they all had ABS. Now if it doesn't have the ABS pump, it means you got Chrysler 8 1/4. And now in the earlier ones, like the late 80s, early 90s, if it had the factory toe pack on it, there's a better chance than not it had a Dana 44 axle. So that's kind of a cool bit of information. So there's the rear diff fluid, which it's not bad. It's a little dark, but it's not leaking. And I almost wonder if this vehicle has a limited slip because of the color of the fluid. I mean, I wouldn't be really that surprised considering it has the toe pack and all that stuff on it. So we might be in real good luck. I really don't feel like pulling off the diff cover though. It's not really making any noise or anything like that. It's not leaking, so we're just going to let that rock for now too. You can see the front diff fluid right here. There's a little bit of a metallic flake to it, but that's pretty normal. I was expecting it to be pretty dirty, but it's really clean, so I'm going to leave it the way it is. That was just pulling out the fill plug, so it's definitely full and it's pretty damn clean, so let's let that rock and roll. Alright, it's still day one. We went and picked up the Jeep, went and did a little parts run, and now just got back from buying a nice used set of tires. Nice set of tires and wheels, Cooper Discoveries, and they are all right, because this is the junk that was on it. That's what was on it. That's probably the best tire that was on there. And we got a nice set of 4 with the 5-spoke design and whatever you want to call them. But they all have great tread on them, so that's not bad for just thrifting every single part you got. Now, if only I had a nice workbench, you know, to cut this fan shroud on. You know, if I just had one of those, we'd be in good shape. So this ought to work really, really nice by the time we're all done here. Oh yeah. We're gonna try to fasten that right there with some zip ties. Give that a shot anyway. I'm excited. That right there is rated at 395 miles an hour. I am so excited about this. So I guess we'll do a day one recap on this thing. Picked up this morning. Had to go to South Carolina to get it. Got it back here. First thing I did with it was we ran some seafoam through the engine. And then while it was running the seafoam through the engine, let it soak, I disassembled the front end, got the front grill assembly off it, the fenders, the hood, and all that stuff, because it's all killed. It's gonna have to be replaced. Once we did all that, got it fired back up, run the seafoam straight all the way through it, pulled it on in, changed the oil in it. Oil was nasty. And while I was draining the oil out, I let it come to just a slow drip, and then I dumped about a quart of clean, fresh oil in it, and let it run down through the oil pan, into the drain pan, and all that stuff. While we were doing all that, we checked all of the rest of the fluids. Everything else was perfect on it, like great. Just got the oil changed, changed out the radiator because the radiator was killed. Just a used one from the junkyard. Got it fired up, put some coolant fired up, and everything's good. No leaks anywhere, nothing like that. It runs at 210 as it should. I got hot heat in the dash and all that stuff. And then after I got it running and all that stuff, I had to go run and grab a new set of wheels and tires, Craigslist special, and bolted them on. And guess what? Took her out on the road. And about, I don't know, what time is it now? 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Got the thing up to fifth gear, 55 mile an hour, and it's good. So we're just gonna have to figure out the check engine light. I mean, it could be anything. And then obviously fix the front fenders and stuff, and then move on to interior and just kind of see what we got. Thanks for watching.